Hello, Bill Molyneux here for Bill's Wargame World. And what are we up to? Well, to start off with, I ended up framing out the Pillbox. All right, taking advice from many of you. So I did frame it out. You got to paint those frames, the gun slit ports, and then we're going to add a little battle damage to it. Hit it with some black wash. The Pillbox is done. All right. Now, believe it or not, I had about 6 people ask me about the green paint I used as the primer. So it's a Fusion all-in-one paint and primer, matte pale sage. Walmart, I think I purchased it at. There's the UPC 24504-02761. I believe Major Eric from the old Gettysburg area gamers, well-known war gamer, asked me about it. And a fella from New Zealand, which I don't know if he's going to be able to get it. And a person from Australia. And then one of my good wargaming friends who used to come to Gettysburg and stayed with me. He lives in England, but he used to work in America and fly back and forth. He's having some health issues. I don't have permission to say his name yet. I forgot to ask. But I will be doing that. And I'm going to see if it's okay to... He's going to have an operation in a couple weeks, and he's going to be fighting the same scourge that my wife and many other people sadly have to fight, that the big C. So, but let's get to work on these figures. We're going to bring out the Grenadier. So this is where we're at. Now, these have been spray painted flat outside. And I'm going to pause the camera and set it up a little different. Alright, so it looks like we see the flocky material, the flocky stuff. You'll see me do that and that. And here we go. So, I saw Miss Shelby has graduated from college. She has got a, she is teacher. Shelby Thompson. She ran the wonderful Fort William Henry game, and on my YouTube channel, that particular game received about, I think, 30,000 views so far. And she's married to Steve, so and I know many people had asked because there's so few female miniature wargamers out there. So I had someone who contacted me that follows my channel and said, I do stuff for Mr. John. Oh, I'll be going to the Gettysburg Miniature Shop next week. He has a whole batch of stuff he wants me to video for him. But someone asked me about the BMC Toy Soldier site, and that they sell on, on the internet. They're based out of Scranton. They actually have made some deals with me on some buildings and things a few years back. But someone said I should contact them and see if they would put my video link on their website. So if you buy anything from the BMC fellas, because the fellow that sent me the note, he actually works at a state museum, and he said he really likes how I donate my money to sites, and he thought maybe I'd get more viewers and subscribers through that website if they put a link on it. So I sent him an email. I don't know. And as we're doing this, don't forget, I have the wonderful Bill's History World with Goober the Traveling Bear channel. And of course, Goober hasn't been traveling quite so much. we did quite a bit in April, and that was really a last hurrah with my wife's health issues. But she's doing so good now, and I'm hoping to hit Gloucester, Virginia's Ware Church this weekend. Very famous historic church. And Gloucester is famous for the largest cavalry battle in the Revolutionary War. And yet it gets really very little coverage about that. And so we're going to probably make a video of, and I've made 2 videos of that battlefield area. Scoot's Barbecue actually sits there. And what else says? It's Whitley's Peanuts. Peanut factories there. And Tidill's Point Park, which I made 2 videos, and Chris of VA Travels, who has got a super awesome channel. He mostly goes to bed and breakfasts, mansions. He does a little military, but not quite as much. He's doing a little bit more of the civilian stuff, and he's got like 15,000 subscribers, I think. So if anyone out there needs a t-shirt, by the way, I have a Goober the Traveling Bear t-shirts, hoodies, and mugs. And they all support my many history sites and veterans. And we just sent a big donation to the American Heritage Education Center in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, the War College. So they've been very good to Goober and I, and we've made a lot of videos there with Dr. Patrick Branton, famous swordsman. And so how are my Panzer Grenadiers looking? I don't know. We'll get close-ups. I'm hoping to we have some company relatives coming to the house in Virginia, and my hope is that maybe, just maybe, I get, the wife says she'll play World War I dogfight miniature game, and we're going to have a couple other people, I guess, stop in, and my goal will be to have everyone flying around in canvas planes. And so that should be fun. I was thinking of Mark Fossisso's Wild West game, but I think single airplanes might be better for non-war gamers, so when they get shot down they can go back out to the water. I call it the ocean. My wife says it's not the ocean, it's the Chesapeake Bay. All I know is if you were on a little rubber raft and you saw the weather the other day out there, you would say it was the ocean, because it was darn rough. So I'm going to do close-ups of these figures when we're done, and as you can now, if you had not seen part 1 of this video where we speed painted them, you have to remember in Bill's world, and I'm just trying to get stuff on the table and have fun. I really want to get Arthur Vanderster's with hot lead and cold steel Civil War regimental game again. And what I want to use I want to use those rules, but I want to use the scenarios from Johnny Reb 1, the original one. The one I got in, I don't know, 1982 maybe. And I want to get that, or I have it. I want to play that scenario. And what my plan is to do the Pitzer's Woods scenario. That's my my idea at least. And it's only a few regiments, and I think it'd look pretty cool. But I don't know. We'll wait and see how I get. D-Day is the first thing to get done, so we're going to have the giant D-Day game. I'm almost wondering about setting up D-Day, a big D-Day, and I think the chuckleheads are going to be gone, so it's not like I can do stuff with them. But I think they have a convention somewhere, if I remember right. So I'm very happy with how these came out for me. If Jim Shaw's watching this, Jim, I know they're nowhere to the standards you would do, of course, but to get 30 figures out and good enough for the table. By the way, I notice a lot of people who paint beautiful figures, they always show very close close-ups on Facebook. However, the standard really is 3 to 4 feet. What the figure looks at 3 or 4 feet is more the standard. Now, if that has changed, let me know. So, what else am I up to? Into the Cold Blue. It's a book. Jared Frederick, and I forgot the other author's name. The other author, it's a B-24 bomber book. It's Mr. John and Frederick, and I apologize for getting his name. So he's 100 years old, B-24 pilot, co-pilot. It starts right with his enlistments, going through training, and I'm going to say 65-70% through it. It will be a goober book review, and because, as you know, I run more irons in the fire than the normal person, I will probably not have that out for another week or two. I have to finish the darn book yet. I try to read a half an hour every night, for the most part. So as long as my eyes aren't too bad, and wear my giant magnifying glasses in bed. So Germans are looking good. So the B-24 book in the Cold Blue, Into the Cold Blue, is about $24 on Kindle. I think it's close to 26 or something on hardback. Now, I've never met Mr. Jared. Has a couple YouTube channels. He does movie stuff. He's a professor in, I think it's Allentown, but I could be wrong. I think I am wrong. I don't think it's Allentown. It's another town. Yeah, I've been up since 4 in the morning. So, bringing forth videos to try to make more money for my museums. I think it's been it's really become a cool thing to really generate money for historic sites. Now, I will say, the month and a half ago for Weiss Fork, I don't know, that was an incredible month of fundraising. I mean, it was just hopping. I think a lot of Civil War people got involved and watched the channel a lot. All right, I'm going to change out my brush, clean this. We'll be back. Welcome back, everyone. I cleaned out the paintbrush. Do a little bit of a close-up of these Germans. They look really good here, probably on and probably not so much when it comes to the camera, but I'm happy with them. You know, I did hit them twice with flat coat. They still look a little glossy in the video camera here. But you know what we're going to do now? We're moving on, because D-Day is right around the corner. And I don't know, some of you may know, I have one of those giant G.I. Joe Stewart tanks that's remote control. But I hopped it up a couple years ago during COVID, so it's has bigger motors than the original, and it goes pretty quick. However, my wife won't let me zip it around too much around the house area because she says I look like an idiot. It makes a lot of noise going down the street. So, pause the camera for a minute. All right. So we are back. We're doing our Pillbox, and so the tank is really cool. Goober fits in it, but we've had to take the Camaro, the other remote control tank that I got from Bill Molyneux, who owns IMAX Toy Soldiers and Remote Control Tank Company. We've taken that to the Virginia house. And my wife wants the big tank there too. So I got the Camaro down there. That Camaro I've had for a long time. So getting back to our wargaming stuff. I don't know who's watching this, but I appreciate anyone who's helping to create some money. And so we got the gun slits. So tell me, please leave me a message if this looks better now. I really was torn about it, and then I finally said, and my wife said, it looks really good, but she even said maybe framing it out would enhance it a bit. So that's what we've done. Now, I'm hoping my Weiss Fork game will get released soon, with the great Steve Jones and all. If you're wondering where you can buy my war games, on the East Coast, Fort McHenry National, Fort McHenry, right here in Baltimore. Jerusalem Mills Historic General Store, right here in Baltimore. Fort Frederick in Frederick, Maryland. Fort Ticonderoga, Bushy Run, Braddock's Battlefield History Center. Sean and Matt do a great job there, and great supporters of my stuff with Goober and trying to help with history. So Fort William Henry, Fort Ty, Old Fort Niagara. They were the first to get the new War of 1812. That's actually doing quite well. So that's the board game world. I'm really happy with this bunker. By the way, Classic Toy Soldiers has a bunker they're selling for about $30 right now, not including shipping and handling. So a little bit of paint, and if I was able to work on this solid and not stopping for different things, I could probably have had this done faster. The other two that I built, my wife wasn't good. She was sick up in bed, so that's when I do a lot of my creation stuff. But I built two of these in less than a few hours. And then I sold them, and I probably sold them very cheap. I think I sold them for $10 $10 or $20 a piece. And they were a little bit better quality than this one. Alright, we got gun ports. Now I had somebody say, you know, it needs some battle damage. So, what's everyone else out there think? Alright, let's give it some battle damage. We'll stop the camera and get something to make battle damage with. Alright, here we go. We're just going to put a hole here. Let's see if we can put a hole there. And the styrofoam is really weird. It's actually springing back. So it needs a little black mixed in. I guess we need to put a little black in here. So, gift shop wise, Brandywine carries my games, and Chad's Ford, which is a separate museum at the Brandywine Battlefield area. And I apologize to them, but I got the gift shop managers' names mixed up, and I sent emails to the opposite managers for the wrong sites. So that was, they were like, there's no Miss X, Y, and Z that works here. And I felt sort of stupid, of course. No, but they were all really nice about it. Just, you know, writing to the gift shop manager and wasn't the right gift shop. So we got some battle damage. Believe it or not, there are carved in holes there. I don't think you can see it, but there is divots. So the official divot maker, and we're going to put one right here. There we go. And so we got, there we go. Now, BD styrofoams were yucky to work with, by the way, which I'm sure many of you know that. So I'm taking some black paint here, and I'm putting it in this crevice. And I'm trying to mix it up a bit with the gray. And all right, I think it was Bruce. So now we have some battle damage, and I need to just get this brush in there better. All right, so that's where we are with the bunker. We got 2 Panther tanks. Now, if you're all wondering, we're probably done with building stuff for the D-Day game. I think I have enough. German half tracks, I don't have any in the beige color. And I don't have any more of the weird German tan spray paint, and I'm not going to bother ordering any right now. So let's see how our bunker looks, and I'll pause the camera. We'll put the lid on it. Wow, there we go. So that's how we look. We have our gun slits in. Please let me know if it looks better. We have damage, which you can see it pretty good from here. I don't know, it's not showing up on the camera as well. Now this bunker cost me basically a little flocking and some paint. So, personally, I think it's pretty cool. Now, not quite as nice as maybe the one I made the other two I made before, but now as far as our Germans, this is the final product. I'm going to bring forth a figure and try to show you a little bit how it came out. You notice I didn't do a lot with them. And then my next video, to try to keep promoting my channels, I'll be doing a history video this weekend in Gloucester, Virginia, and in the next day or week this weekend I'll also be doing the World War I airplane battles, and see if my wife will be on camera. And then in the background you see a batch of D-Day games and plastic folio games. I am going to talk about the D-Day games I have, and quickly, probably a 15-20 minute board game video. Two of them are quite well known, this D-Day Avalon Hill original and then the Smithsonian. But I have a couple Ziploc D-Day games which are quite rare. Maybe even Kim Metis, though, who collects and has enormous amounts of games and has been helping me with my Weiss Fort game. We will see if he has them in his collection. Alright, that's it for now. Please stay safe, be kind, be courteous, and I'll probably be doing a small video for Memorial Day to say thank you to all our service men and women that sacrifice their lives for our freedom in America. And every day on my Facebook site I have been posting a different video of the cemeteries, the military type cemeteries that Goober and I have traveled to, including Woodlawn Confederate Cemetery in Elmira, New York, the Union Cemetery in Winchester, Virginia, is just a couple examples. Thank you. Stay safe. Be kind. Be courteous. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, and please get others to subscribe so I can raise more money for historic sites.